very pleased to have Kate Goodfellow, the Camp Merrywood operations manager, speak.
Hi, thank you, Dave. Thank you all for inviting us today. I think I've met some of you on previous calls, and I just want to thank you again for your ongoing support of Easter Seals, specifically of Camp Merrywood and all of our clients and their families. As Dave said at the beginning, today and March's Easter Seals Month is about the kids, and I think everyone just heard in the breakout rooms from those families and some kids about the impact of Easter seals in their life. And I think, as many of you on here know, camp is no exception to that. I honestly feel privileged to be able to do what I do in terms of providing an experience to the Easter Seals kids that come into our camps every summer. This year is exciting for us after being closed to in-person camping for the last 2 years. Obviously, it's a very exciting time for us as we move forward with camp for 2022. Like I said, it's about the kids. The camp experience is about providing that camp experience to kids who otherwise would face barriers to participation in a regular camp program. They get to come to Camp Merrywood, they get to go to Wood Eden down in London and just be kids. They get that typical camp experience, but it's made fully accessible, made fully adaptable to meet their abilities. And like I said, I just feel privileged to be able to be a part of that experience. And I think these last couple of years have obviously been challenging, but from the time we made that decision I guess it was almost 2 years ago now, to close in 2020, it was still, the focus still remained on the kids and what services we could continue to provide. So thanks to the ongoing support, the unfailing support of our families, of our supporters, of our staff, we were able to pivot. And I think the pivot to a virtual program, a remote program, to keep our kids engaged and connected over the last 2 years was a huge success. And I think it also allowed us a huge opportunity to connect with our families and campers in a new way, to really take the time to figure out how we could best support them through these challenging 2 years and also moving forward. I honestly feel like I was more connected with our campers and families throughout the year than I previously would have been. It allowed us to stay connected with ongoing programming instead of just connecting with families when registration opened in January, and then when they arrived for arrival day in July or August. It really allowed us, and now with looking at reopening for 2022 as we accept registrations, it's allowed us to revamp some of what we do to make sure that we are keeping up with the needs of families today. It's allowed us that opportunity to really reevaluate what we're doing and how we can better serve our kids. Right now, for me, I guess it's my first, approaching my first summer of in-person camp, actually, as the manager of camp operations. When I started in 2020, prior to that, I'd had a few summers as camp staff experience, but this is the first summer where we're actually moving ahead with camp. But it's about my fourth or fifth year of doing hiring for summer, having helped in previous summers. And this is always probably one of my favorite times of the year in this role, is when we're hiring staff, we're accepting camper registrations, because it builds the excitement for the summer. I get to talk to returning staff and new staff applicants about what we do, talk to the returning staff about their favorite part of being staff, about the experience that they want to contribute to for our campers. And I get to talk to camper families about their excitement. And I think this year, I spent the last 2 weeks in interviews with camp staff applicants and in reviewing camper applications. And there's just so much excitement for that experience to be brought back in person this summer. So thank you again for all you do to support our organization, and particularly our camps. That beautiful campfire pit in Dave's background will finally get to be used in its full capacity this summer, which it hasn't been able to yet. So very exciting.
Is it possible that there could be a day for Rotarians to come up and do what we've done in the past, which is put on a barbecue, get to meet the kids, and become more familiar with what the wonderful things Camp Merrywood does. I know it'd be super challenging with COVID, but is that something we can start thinking about?
I think we will have to look at it. As of right now, we have a no visitor policy for the summer, and that's something that we have. That's information that we've given to our families, and in terms of measures that we're taking to protect their kids as they register and send them to camp this summer. Obviously, things change constantly, but unfortunately, as of right now, during our camp sessions, we do have a no visitor policy. But happy to chat and get creative about what we could do to get you guys back involved this summer when we have kids on site.
Kate, I think we all sort of understand kids going to camp as kids, but can you explain how the family camp works?
Yeah, so our family camp is typically designed, it's a shorter session that we offer once through the summer at each site. And it is designed to get kids to camp who are either too young to come on their own to individual camp, or who might be too medically fragile to qualify for our individual camps. So we do have a set of eligibility criteria. Not all of our clients are eligible for individual camp, either based on their medical needs or their age. So if they don't meet those individual camp requirements, or if they're just young and it's a new family, they're able to come with their family for a shorter session, and they participate in all the activities with their family. Siblings can sign up for their own activities or the same activities as the rest of their family, and it's a camp experience for the whole family.
I know in other camping situations, when the kids go to camp, it's a bit of a respite for mom and dad. Maybe mom and dad go on their own holiday somewhere. And is there a way that gets accommodated for the family camp?
I think if you talk to a lot of our families who come to family camp, it's not obviously not a full holiday in the fact that they get respite away from their kids, but a lot of them do still feel like it's a holiday. They're coming out to this beautiful camp on the lake. They get to do all the activities. They're not having to think about a lot of the stuff. We're providing the entertainment and the programming for their kids. They're still required to provide the care for their children while they're there. But we run the programming. They don't have to think about entertaining their kids. And it also allows them, if they have multiple kids, it allows them to kind of spend a bit more quality time with their non-Easter Seals kids, maybe, that they feel that their one Easter Seals child can do a program with one parent, and the other parent gets to go out on the lake or do another activity with another child. Or the whole family gets to go canoeing, which I've had a couple of years ago. I had a family say that they had never realized that they could go canoeing as a family. They just always assumed that it would have to be one of the kids with one of the parents going canoeing and the other parent staying with their Easter Seals child until they did a canoe trip to the beach with us during family camp. And they realized, so I think, it's not a traditional holiday for the families or for the parents, but it's a family vacation that they never thought was possible.